We are taking you into the news right now with the Fox 45 news feed. It's 11 a.m. Another round of winter weather moving over Maryland. Many of us already seeing snow, but this is just the start of it. The incoming weather is actually prompting the city to cancel today's parade to celebrate Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. But there's still plenty of other events happening. We're going to take a closer look at what's on the schedule. And as we brace for snow, those in Iowa are already in the thick of it. Coming up, how this is impacting today's big caucus in the GOP race for the White House. Fox 45 News Midday starts now.
Live from WBFF in Baltimore, this is Fox 45 News Midday.
Thanks for joining us for Fox 45 News Midday. I'm Patrice Sanders. It is Monday, January 15th, and we are tracking the next weather maker. Some of us already seeing a few flakes this morning, but that is only the start of things. Let's get right over to meteorologist Wyatt Everhart, who is tracking the next weather maker that is heading toward our region. Wyatt.
Hey everyone, I'm Wyatt Everhart. Let's get a first check of that forecast, and no question about it, winter weather advisory type conditions. It officially begins this afternoon, but we all know from this morning, if you've been out and about, those sub-freezing temperatures we had with that early burst of snow created some very slick conditions, and today we don't really get above freezing, so watch out for continued slick spots out there, even as we get a little bit of a lull in the action in terms of active winter weather. But it will be ramping up again as we go into the late afternoon and evening hours. A lot of the snow back out west here toward the Tennessee Valley, headed towards Maryland later on this afternoon and evening. So again, a little bit of a midday lull, staying below freezing, watching for slick spots. The storm ramps up tonight. We'll have more details on that coming up in just a few more minutes.
Wyatt, thank you. The incoming weather is prompting the city to cancel today's Martin Luther King Day parade. That news coming just hours before the parade was set to kick off. But as Olivia Dance shows us, there are still several other events taking place across the city. Olivia.
Well, the mayor announced that, unfortunately, Baltimore's annual MLK Day parade has been canceled because of winter weather. Take a look at this here right off of Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. This is where the parade was supposed to start. You can see the sidewalk is just coated with a layer of snow here. Definitely slippery to walk around. But the good news is that there are still a lot of other events happening in honor of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. today. There is the 11th annual Peace Walk happening today at St. Bernardine Catholic Church, which is starting at noon. And then at 1:30, a mural will be installed in the Cecil Kirk Recreation Center, which will entail words of positivity, encouragement, and affirmation to uplift the youth and, of course, honor Dr. King. And finally, mayoral candidate Wendy Bozell will attend a mayoral forum being held at the Friendship Baptist Church at 6 tonight. That forum is also in honor of Dr. King. But again, the Baltimore MLK parade is unfortunately canceled because of winter weather. They said it was a difficult decision, but of course the safest option. A representative from the mayor's office told me that they're working on releasing more information on rescheduling the parade at a later time. But of course, if you are out and about today, if you have to be out, you want to make sure that you're taking it slow, being cautious when you're walking on the sidewalks, and of course driving on the roads as well. And if you are out, you also want to make sure that you're bundling up. Always a good idea to pack the hat, gloves, and a nice warm jacket. But for now, reporting in Baltimore, I'm Olivia Dance, Fox 45 News, Midday.
All right, Olivia, thank you. If you are going to any of the MLK events around the city today, share your pictures and videos with Fox 45. Just scan the QR code on your screen, and that will take you to foxbaltimore.com, where you can upload all your pictures and videos. It's powered by Stackler. Developing now, 2 teens are shot in Baltimore County, and police are now searching for their shooter. This comes as frustration continues to mount surrounding juvenile crime and what some are calling a lack of action from lawmakers. As Shannon Lilly shows us, there are new calls for accountability in Annapolis. Shannon.
Well, thankfully, Baltimore County Police tell us those 2 teens who were shot over the weekend are expected to recover from their injuries. But meanwhile, this morning, County Police are still searching for the person or people who shot them. Right now, the age of those suspects are not known, but police dispatch described them as 2 teens in dark clothing. Take a listen.
Callers said they heard 4 gunshots in the area. The suspects are black male teenagers, all wearing black. black hoodies, blue jeans.
I'm still looking for the suspects. I'm not coming up with anything right now.
So those suspects, as you just heard, are still on the run after this shooting that happened at a busy intersection in Essex just before noon Sunday. People in the area who didn't want to go on camera say they had to duck for cover when shots rang out near Old Eastern and Selig Avenue. And this is just the latest incident of juvenile violence across the state. The city's first homicide victim of the year was just 16 years old, Carver High School student Noah Gibson. Now we're hearing from mayoral candidate Sheila Dixon on what she believes the #1 focus should be for lawmakers this session.
Juvenile crime and coming out with a definitive plan. We've got to get a handle of it. 2023 was totally out of control when it came to juvenile crimes. We still have to send the message that young people have to be accountable. And we have to figure out, based on the crime that's being committed, if it's a very violent crime, then that has to be addressed. And you just can't let them go.
Meanwhile, the search for the suspects in this Essex shooting continues. And remember, if you have any information regarding this shooting, you are urged to call the Metro Crime Stoppers, where you can remain anonymous and you could be eligible for up to a $2,000 reward. Reporting in Essex, I'm Shannon Lilly, Fox 45 News.
In a state's attorney roundtable hosted by Fox 45 last week, some of the panelists sounded off on the Child Interrogation Protection Act. They want lawmakers to take action in Annapolis. The law states police can't question children without parental approval and an attorney present. It's designed to protect children's rights. Fox 45's Mackenzie Frost will be in Annapolis following every step of this year's legislative session over the next 3 months. You can watch all of our coverage on air and online at foxbaltimore.com. 11:06 now. Here's a look at today's top trending stories. Trending #1, former Baltimore City State's Attorney Marilyn Mosby will be back in federal court this week for her second trial. These charges relate to false statements on a loan application surrounding her purchase of vacation homes in Florida. Federal prosecutors claim Mosby failed to disclose the $45,000 tax lien on her home in Baltimore when she bought 2 Florida homes. She faces up to 5 years in prison on each charge, but won't be sentenced until after the conclusion of the second trial. Jury selection begins tomorrow. The trial begins on Thursday. Trending #2, in just over a month, the Baltimore City Council will begin hearings on the $500 million redevelopment of Harbor Place. However, new voices are emerging opposing the plan on the table. The group called the Inner Harbor Coalition says they have multiple concerns with the redevelopment, including the new high-rise apartments and offices that would be built around the harbor. The coalition says it is considering pursuing an alternative referendum for city voters to weigh in on the issue, or even legal action. Trending #3, the Ravens and the rest of the NFL still waiting for the wild card round to end. Due to the massive snowstorm in Buffalo on Saturday, the last AFC wild card game between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Buffalo Bills was postponed until this afternoon. Kickoff is now scheduled for 4:30 p.m. So what does that mean for the AFC playoffs and the Ravens? The Flock will host the lowest seed remaining in the divisional round, either Saturday or next Sunday. If the Steelers win against the Bills, the Ravens will meet Pittsburgh for the 3rd time this season. However, if the Steelers lose, the Texans come to Baltimore for round 2. Trending #4, a Towson alumni's custom jacket is going viral on social media. Take a look at this. This customized Travis Kelce puffy jacket was worn by Taylor Swift at Saturday's wild card game. Towson Alumni Relations congratulating the alum on social media. The video you see on your screen right now has been viewed more than 12 million times. Download the Fox 45 News app for up-to-the-minute traffic conditions, breaking news, and weather anytime. Search WBFF in your app store. What's still ahead? Unlimited shopping sprees for life. A man who says he was wrongly accused of shoplifting is now suing. The demands he's making of the company ahead. And a legal battle is brewing between Starbucks and its union workers. How the Supreme Court is now getting involved. And former Maryland Governor Larry Hogan says he will not run for president, who he's endorsing instead. That's coming up. We're also tracking some winter weather on the way as we take a live look at our Towson camera. Our Weather Authority team is tracking our next weather maker. What are you going to be waking up to tomorrow morning? That's all coming up. 11:09 now on Fox 45 News Midday.
Fox 45 News, winner of 16 2022 Regional Emmy Awards, more than all other Baltimore news stations combined.
(11:11) now, and taking a look at your social stream, former Maryland Governor Larry Hogan is throwing his support behind Republican presidential candidate Nikki Haley. He says Haley is the right person to give Republicans the best chance in November.
Nikki Haley's got all the momentum, and what this race is really all about is to try to nominate the strongest possible nominee for November. It's time for the party to get behind Nikki Haley.
Well, lots of reaction to this one on social media. One person saying, congrats on helping split the anti-Trump vote. Another one saying his endorsement carries no weight. Well, the U.S. Supreme Court says it will hear the appeal of a case involving Starbucks. In August of 2022, Starbucks was ordered by a federal judge to rehire pro-union workers in Memphis, Tennessee, that it had fired earlier in the year. The company said the workers were fired for serious security violations after allowing members of the media into the store after hours when they were in the midst of launching their union. But the National Labor Review Board petitioned a court saying that Starbucks wrongfully terminated the so-called Memphis 7. Here's what you have to say about that. It's good to step in and resolve the matter, is what one person saying about the Supreme Court. Another person simply saying, homebrewed coffee has always tasted better to me. Well, a Texas man is suing for a lifetime of free shopping trips after being accused of shoplifting. Roderick Jackson filed his second lawsuit against Walmart for, quote, false pretense of shoplifting. This happened at a store in Omaha, Nebraska in 2021. Jackson says he is suing for a civil rights violation based on race or color and is seeking $100 million in damages or free shopping at any Walmart stores for life. Here's your reaction. One person saying it lost the seriousness at or. Another person saying a man who knows his worth. We'll see how the lawsuit goes. Well, still ahead, flights continue to be disrupted as the FAA investigates after that Boeing jet lost its door plug mid-flight. How long the specific jets could be out of service. And as we brace for snow, those in Iowa are already in the thick of it. Coming up, how it's impacting today's big caucus and the GOP race for the White House. 11:14 now on Fox 45 News Midday. We're not the only ones seeing winter weather. Freezing cold temperatures continue to sweep across the United States. The National Weather Service says wind chills are expected to push temperatures below 30 degrees from the northern Rockies to the Midwest. Temperatures in Des Moines, Iowa are forecast to remain below zero today as GOP presidential hopefuls push supporters to head out to the polls for today's Iowa caucus. Now, Iowa's final poll is out. It shows former President Donald Trump with a commanding lead, receiving first choice support from 48% of likely Republican caucus goers. In second place is former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley at 20% support, followed closely by Ron DeSantis. Of the 705 people surveyed, about 68% said they've made up their mind on who they back. Meanwhile, 25% said they could still be persuaded. There are new questions about the viability of the two-party system in America. For years, Americans have said they'd like more options, but every 4 years, the major candidates in the race are always one Democrat, one Republican. Here's Christine Frizzell with why some are trying to change that.
This is go time.
So brave the weather and go out and save America.
The 2024 campaign for president playing out under the umbrella of a great irony. America is beholden to a two-party system, despite polls for years showing a majority of voters oppose it. A new Gallup poll now shows more Americans than ever identify as independents, 43%. Just 27% identify as Democrats, with an equal number as Republicans.
70% of the people in America do not want to vote for Joe Biden or Donald Trump.
Former Maryland Governor Larry Hogan Sunday endorsing Nikki Haley, though speculation prevails he may run as a third-party candidate following his departure as co-chair of the group No Labels.
They're going to, I think, continue to try to get access to the ballot. They're going to wait and see if we're stuck with these two bad choices on the November ballot. And, I think they'll make their decision in March or April.
Tuesday, March 5th is Super Tuesday, the single day when most states hold primaries or caucuses, as other moderate potential candidates weigh in.
I'm not going to be a spoiler, never have been and never will be. But people want options. Or they want change.
That desire for change playing out in polls, showing all three of the top GOP candidates have a lead in a head-to-head matchup with President Joe Biden. A brand new CBS News YouGov poll shows Donald Trump ahead 50-48, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis 51-48, and
11:24. Don't miss this. The wait is almost over. This 75th anniversary celebration of the Emmy Awards is tonight at 8 right here on Fox 45. Ashley Dvorkin brings us a sneak peek of all the excitement.
The stage is set for the 75th anniversary Emmy Awards on Fox, and we're bringing you a look behind the scenes of TV's biggest night.
Stars of the small screen will soon take their seats to find out who wins Emmy's gold. Host Anthony Anderson shared his plan for the show includes jokes, some jabs, and music.
I'm definitely going to make fun about Jason Sudeikis. He's been my downfall for the last few years. We're going to open up the Emmys with a musical number, paying tribute to some iconic shows, and I'll be singing their theme songs, and I'll have Travis Barker on drums on stage with me along with some other people.
The musical number is part of celebrating the 75th year. There will also be recreated sets and iconic cast reunions.
Assembling, these iconic casts with those that are still with us and bringing them back together and paying homage to some groundbreaking creators.
That's my mama.
Another ad instead of traditional playoff music. It's Anthony's mom, Mama Doris, wrapping up long acceptance speeches. From trophies to treats, award-winning pastry chef Sherry Yard will serve up special desserts.
We're so excited about the Governor's Gala. All the nominees and the winners, and they're going to come out and party with us, and they're going to come down the line and see all the celebrity chefs, from Jet Tila to Stephanie Izzard and me, and I'm going to make all the desserts. And so this year what we did, all little bites.
Yes, chef.
Delicious dishes are even inspired by the night's nominees.
We love the whole team at the Bear. Strawberry shortcake and the lime, because the lime was a dessert that was featured on the Bear.
Tune in for the 75th Emmys, airing live from LA Live January 15th on Fox. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
Oh, that's going to be good. For all of you who don't want to watch football, this is perfect. Well, that's all we have for Fox 45 News Midday. We'll see you back here tomorrow.